What's up YouTube? Vintage Dollface back with another ranking video. Today we are going to be ranking the Generation 7 Pokemon, the Alola region. This one is going to be fun. Some of these designs were really cool, and I like some of the inspirations that they drew from. The starters in this region are all three so cute, and it made it very difficult for me to choose between them whenever I played Pokemon Moon and Pokemon Ultra Moon. Now, full disclaimer, I have not played either of these games all the way through fully. I need to, I want to, so that is on my need to do list as far as some of the things that I missed in my early 20s of Pokemon, unfortunately, due to some other things that I had going on in life at the time. However, I do plan on playing these games all the way through someday, but I'm still very familiar with the majority of them. I will say wholeheartedly I do not know most of the Ultra Beasts, so if I don't say their name, don't come for me, because I probably don't know. If you're excited for this video, hit that like button down below to show me that you're still enjoying all these ranking videos. Subscribe if you're new here. I would so appreciate it. Help me reach my goal of 250 subscribers. I am monitoring that daily and we are doing very good. So thank you for all of you that have joined the vintage collection and hit that subscribe button. I hope you're enjoying the content that you see here. And without further ado, let's get into our rankings for the Alolan region. Starting out with Rowlet, who is gonna get an 8 from me. Dartrix an 8 as well, and Decidueye gets a 9. Litten gets a 9 as well. Torracat gets a 6, and Incineroar also gets a 6. Kind of went down for me. Poplio gets a 9, Brionne also gets a 9, and Primarina also gets a 9. Pikipek gets a 6, Trumbeak gets a 6 as well, Toucanon gets a 7, Yungoos gets a 4, Gumshoes gets a 3, don't like that. Grubbin gets an 8, Charjabug gets a 7, and Vikavolt gets a 9. I really like this evolution line, actually. It's really cool to me. Crabrawler gets a 5, Crabominable gets an 8. Oricorio in all of its forms is gonna get a 7. This one is definitely my favorite of the forms. Cutiefly gets a 7. Ribombee also gets a 7. Rockruff gets an 8. Lycanroc is gonna get a 9 from me. I specifically like this form the best. This one is also really cool and confuses me sometimes because I think it's shiny. Wishy-Washy is gonna get a 5 from me. Mareanie gets an 8, and Toxapex gets a 7, but how cute is Mareanie? Mudbray gets a 6. Mudsdale is gonna get a 7 from me. Dewpider gets a 7 as well. Araquanid gets an 8. Lurantis gets a 7, and Lurantis gets an 8. Morlul gets a 7. Shiinotic gets a 5. Don't really like the direction they went with the design. Salandit gets an 8. Salazzle gets a 10. I love this Pokemon. Stuffle gets an 8. Little cutie pie. And Beware also gets an 8. Boonsweet gets an 8. Steenie gets a 9. And Serena gets a big fat 10 because I love her. Comfey gets an 8. Oranguru gets a 5. Passimian also gets a 5. Although I think it's a clever concept. Wimpod gets a 4. Golisopod gets a 6. Sandygast gets an 8. And Palisand gets a 9. I love these Pokemon. The concept of them is really cool, actually. Pyukumuku gets a 7 from me. Titanol is gonna get a 7 from me. It's a very interesting Pokemon. And Savali gets an 8. Minoir is gonna get a 7 from me. I love all the colors that it has. Komala, although adorable, gets a 6. Turtonator gets a 5 from me. I'm just not a really big fan of that Pokemon. Togedemaru is gonna get a 6. Mimikyu gets a 10, of course. Of course it does. Bruxish gets a 4. I do not like this Pokemon at all. Grandpa gets a 6 only because it reminds me of the never-ending story. Delmise is gonna get an 8 from me. I think this is a very cool concept for a Pokemon. Although I'm surprised it's grass type. Jangmo-o 6, Hakumo 7, and Komo-o also gets a 7. Now for the Tapus, I'm just gonna say the second name. Coco is gonna get a 7 from me. Lele gets a 9. I love how adorable she is. Bulu gets a 6, although it's a pretty cool design. Tapu Fini is gonna get an 8. She is gorgeous. Cosmog gets a 9. Love Cosmog, so cute. Cosmoem gets a 6. So Galio gets a 7 from me. Lunala, being my favorite of the two, gets a 9. And honestly, one of my favorite legendaries, hands down. Now, here we go into the Ultra Beasts. This one creeps me out. Give it a 7 though. And that's Nihilego. Buzzwole gets a 6. I've never been intimidated more in my life by a bug. Pheromosa, beautiful, beautiful thing she is gonna get a 9. I don't even know how to pronounce this weird looking thing's name, but it gets a 3 from me because what in the Celestelia? 3. Kartana gets a 5 just because it's interesting. It's like a ninja paper star thing. This big freaky thing, Guzzlord is, I believe the name, gets a 4. It terrifies me. Necrozma, I actually do know what this one is, gets a 7. Magearna gets an 8. Adorable little design. Marshadow is also gonna get an 8 from me. Poipole, I think that's how you say that Pokemon's name, gets a 4. I like the color scheme. And this thing, I can't say its name right, just gets a 3. Stakataka has too many eyes for my taste, gets a 3. Blacephalon, I think is how you say this Pokemon's name. This thing, it gets a 5. Sure, it's representing pansexualism. Zeraora gets an 8. Melmetal, or Meltan, sorry. Meltan is gonna get a 7, and then Melmetal gets a 7 as well. What did you think of my Generation 7 ratings? Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you being here. Just watching the video this far through helps so much. You have no idea. Please make sure you watch my videos all the way through because that really benefits the channel and the growth that I see here on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the like button if you have not done so already, and subscribe if you are new here. I would very much appreciate it, and I would love to have you join the vintage collection here on YouTube. If you are enjoying these videos, then you can also hit the notification bell to get updated anytime I upload a new video to the channel so that you will not miss out on anything that I post here. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys on the next one, but until then, bye!